going to make the lamb now, and we're going to use our 22 gauge wires. And we make the armature exactly the same way, well, not exactly because it's a different wire, but the same way we made the sheep armature. You take one wire and find the center, and then you want to wrap. I wrote it down, maybe I didn't. Baby, I did write it down. 2 3/4 inches. So just short of 3 inches. About there. 1, 2, 3/4. And that's going to be your lamb head and neck. And then take your second wire and find the center. And open it up. Place that V at the base of the neck. And we do the same 2 twists so that the long wire is pointing back at you again. 2 full times around. That's 1. That's 2. And now we're going to bring these together. Don't forget to leave the space there. And we want the back to be 3 inches long from the front leg, which is about there. Yes. And then you're going to fold those legs down. So now we've got these really long legs, but that's okay. We're going to figure it out. Okay. If we cut the leg at 4 inches, that's too short. I did not figure this part out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 4 is good. What was I looking at? I was looking at 3. Okay, we're going to cut the front legs at 4 inches from the twist. And then we can work from there. 1, 2, 3, 4. The scissors sometimes work better because they get through the fabric part too. All right, that'll be good because we're going to fold that foot up. We're going to have an elbow. I'm just thinking out loud. Okay, and then the hind legs. We can cut at 4 also. Using my scissors left-handed, that's weird. But they're working. Okay. The reason I wanted to measure these out is because we're going to actually wrap this wire before we fold it, fold the bottom over. And it just is an easy way to get the wool to stay on the tips of the feet. See, it makes these really nice little dainty black feet. Using the natural black, you want very thin sections, about 3 inches long. We're going to wrap some natural black on the foot before we bend it back. So I'm putting some U-Smooth on the wire to help it hold the wool while I am wrapping it down the leg. And I'm keeping my piece really thin, barely adding any width to the wire. My hands are all sticky. In a good way. Okay, I'm going down, down, down until I just have a little bit of wire sticking out. And then while I hold the wool tight, I'm going to bend this back about 1/4 inch. And then now I can continue wrapping to get that foot encased in there. Don't make it too big. Just like a little, I don't know, what size is that? sunflower seedish.
You're like a mini Q-tip.
Like a mini Q-tip, a mini black Q-tip. Okay. Oh, this lamb is going to have some long legs, but I think it's okay if I, let's see. That's good. And then you're going to do all 4 feet. So hopefully that went okay. You've got something that looks like this. It is a good trick. Once you figure it out, it's really, really useful. So we want to give the same kind of bends that we did to the sheep, a little soft forward bend on each hind leg, and then a little hock and little pasterns. And so elbow and pasterns on the front legs. Lambs are kind of long-legged anyway. So we need to start putting, basically we're going to build up with off-white core. And he's mostly off-white core. And I actually didn't use any white except for a little bit on the face. So I didn't bother with white on the legs. I just left him all off-white, but that's up to you. So we need about a more like a 3-inch piece that you're going to split into 4 pieces, just to keep things under control here. And give those a nice tug so that they end up, look, they're ending up more like 6 inches once you really stretch them out a little bit. And then we're going to go down each leg, just a real simple wrap. I'm going right around in the same spot a few times just because I really want to make sure I have a good grab before I start traveling down the leg. It's a little bit harder to work on this 22 gauge wire because it wants to move around on you a little bit more. Now if you have enough, if your piece is long enough, you can go ahead and do that extra wrap at the pastern, the figure 8, to build up their little funny little joint there. Oh gosh, I sort of want one more, but it might get kind of thick. Take the extra off and just finish out. So I did my figure 8 there to build up that little joint at the bottom of the leg. I'll do another one for you guys to see. Actually, let me do a back leg and then I'll do the other 2 legs off camera. I went around the body to get it anchored, and I don't start traveling down the leg until I really have a good, consistent. I had a lot of fringe I was working with there. So now that I've really got it on, I can go down the leg. Trying to keep it smooth and tight, really skinny. And then I'm going to just exaggerate that pastern joint a little bit and then do the figure 8. Well, this one turned out better. And then end it where I want. When I have these little wisps, I just keep wrapping until they are all incorporated. That's the easiest way, I think, rather than trying to felt them down, or I just keep smoothing it out until it's all, smooth and incorporated and disappeared. Okay, I'm going to do the other 2 legs. All right, we've got all of our legs wrapped and our little pasterns, and we're going to do hocks and knees. But before we do that, I want to start getting some wool on the top. So I don't know why, but I have a 6-inch piece here, which is perfect. And I'm going to split it into quarters. This off-white can be very thick, so it's easier to work with smaller pieces. And one I'm going to do right here at the chest. And I'm going to do our crisscross. So I'm going to go around and get it started. And then I'm going to go over a shoulder and under the opposite armpit. And then I need to go over the back. And then I can go under this armpit and over the shoulder to make the X, just like we did on the sheep. Just finish that out around the body. Another 6-inch piece, I'm going to go start at the base of the neck and then go up, kind of pulling it to the nose. And when I get to the nose, I'm going to turn around and go back. Just use up whatever is there. And then another 6-inch piece, I'm going to wrap the body. Oh, my chest wrap got all kinds of wonky. It's all loosey-goosey. And this last 6-inch piece, I'm going to go around the body one more time and try to smooth out this mess that I made with the chest. That's better. Just put little lamb spanks on him. Rein it all back in. Okay, so I want to get some wool on the joints and then wool at the tops of the legs. So let me take about a 3-inch piece and split this into 4. And these will be the joints. And it's probably too much. Actually, what I'm going to do is take one of those and split it again, and these will probably be the knees. So it's a real thin piece of fiber. And then halfway between the elbow and the pastern, I want to put a knee. So I'm going to take it, keep it skinny, and do a little figure 8 right here. All in the same place, and it just starts to make a little seed. If I have extra, I'm going to go ahead and go up the leg because I need the top half of the leg to be a little bit thicker. Okay, and then I'll do the other one.
So what do you call a sheep covered in chocolate?
Oh, sheep covered in chocolate. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Is this another bad joke?
Yes, it is. You call it a candy bar.
If you're from Boston.
Yes, we're trying to include our friends from the north.
You call it a candy bar. That one made me laugh, Milo.
We have some Boston friends.
We do have some Boston.
Shout out to the Boston.
Okay, I'm making little, exaggerated little hawks so that I can take my fiber and I'm going to do the top of the leg a little bit. And then when I get here, I'm going to figure 8 inside of that joint. And that's it. Take my extra back up the leg. Little foals and little kids, little lambs and kids and babies have kind of big joints. Well, the ones that have to walk right away. Could you imagine if our babies We're
Oh
born
my.
with big joints. Oh, that's funny.
No, it would not be funny.
And then taking the extra up the leg. Oh, this little lamb is a spindly little. Just felting things that need to make sure that they stick. Okay, now we want to put some wool, some long front legs. We want to put some wool at the tops of the legs. So we'll do another 3-inch piece split into quarters. Oh, that was more like a 2-inch piece. And then on the back legs, we just want to go down and then turn around and come back up just to get a little more thickness at the top of the leg there. Probably could have used a little bit of a longer piece, but can always add more. Down 2 and then turn around and go up 2. Like so. And then our last 2 pieces, I start on the body, go around the arm, and then return to the body. All the same steps as we did for the sheep, for the mama. I don't do a chest on the lambs because they don't have that yet. They're still all scrawny in that area. Okay. There we go. Sort of. All right, we need to get more onto the head. So a quarter of a 4-inch piece. I have some. If you don't, you're going to break a 4-inch piece and then split it into quarters. And one is just going to go around the neck here. Start to thicken that neck up a little bit. Nice and consistent. And then the other one is going to figure 8 on the head. To the nose, to the back of the head, to the nose, and then we'll come up the center, smooth it out. Shooting for this crescent half circle kind of shape to the head. I think the body needs one more. So I'm going to pull a 6-inch piece. I'm going to split it into quarters and work with 6-inch quarters. That way I have more control. That's good. And then one more piece at the top of each hind leg. So I can take one of those 6-inch quarters and split it in half and get 2 3-inch pieces. And just start on the body, go around the leg, and return to the body. And it just builds that up and brings it all together. Every time I make one of these lambs, or the lamb armatures, it turns out different. It's weird. And then the other side, giving it a good stretch. Start on the body, go around the upper leg, and return to the body.
So why was the sheep arrested on the freeway?
Because I don't know why.
Because she made an illegal U-turn.
That's bad.
There's a lot of no. It is bad.
That's bad. Okay. This little lamb is as wobbly on its feet as a real life little lamb.